Hello, and welcome to another video. In this video, I want to talk about victim mindset because honestly, I've noticed just I feel like maybe some of you have too. Let me know. But I've noticed that when I go out and about in the world, and even when you go online, you see so many people playing the victim card all the time. And as much as it is annoying for the people around them, I don't think people really understand one, how much they do it, but two, the impact it has on not only other people, but also their own mindset and how it really stunts them. So I wanted to hop on today, and like usual, if it helps one person, I'm happy. And just explain the problem with having a victim mindset and kind of the things that it does to you to raise awareness for why we need to avoid having this mindset at all costs. So, the bad things about being a victim. Number one is that you lose agency. So I'm sure some of you will understand what I mean by agency, but if you don't, what does this mean? Agency is basically the feeling that we can control what we do and we have kind of an impact on our lives. By being a victim, what you're doing is you're giving other people the agency over your life. So you don't get to make your life choices, or you don't have an impact on what's happening in your life. It's all from external factors. You lose that agency. Whereas if you don't have a victim mindset, right, and you control your agency, you have choice on how your life goes. And that is so much more empowering than just making excuses for why things aren't working right for you. If you were to be a victim, nothing is your fault. Everything is everyone else's fault. You don't have accountability. You don't have agency. So you can't change your life. But if you weren't a victim and you take accountability for your actions, then the amount of agency you have, even if you fuck up, even if you lose, even if you fail, right? You still have that agency and you still have control over your life. Being a victim, you don't have that. Number two, leading on from that is excuses, right? So that's all to do with that accountability thing. Nothing's your fault. It's always someone else's fault. And the reason that it's someone else's fault can be anything to shift the blame away from you and to put it onto someone else. That is what happens with excuses. So we're going to talk about the social ramifications after, but the biggest problem that you have if you're just relying on excuses or blaming other people all the time is that you will never see personal growth, right? Personal growth. You'll never see it. The reason for that is if you're excusing every single little thing you do, what ends up happening is you have no reason to improve. You have nothing you can actually do to improve because everything, back on that agency thing, everything that you're doing is outside of your control, right? If we stop making excuses for ourselves, if we stop excusing the behaviors that we're doing that's leading to bad things, because at the end of the day, it's your personal choices that lead to your bad things. Doesn't matter. Obviously people grow up in different scenarios where some people are better off than others. But at the end of the day, we've heard enough stories now of rags to riches, people coming up from being in absolute poverty and becoming rich now. That just goes to show that it is your choice. So there is no excuse, no external excuse. The only excuses you can make is about how your choices of behavior was wrong and that you will fix them, right? So that we have that personal growth. If we make excuses claiming that it wasn't our fault, then we will never see personal growth. And third but last, we've got damaged relationships. Now, this is more of an external impact of being a victim, but we damage our relationships in multiple ways, right? So one of which is the fact that people don't like being around victims. No one likes it. I'm sure you don't like it yourself. When you've got someone that doesn't know how to take accountability, when you know someone that nothing is ever their fault, when you know someone that is always just at the, like, they've always got bad luck when it comes to everything, but it's never their fault. It's the worst kind of people to be around. It is, it truly is. And no one enjoys being around those people. That was a bit of an explanation on how that could directly affect you, but or someone that has that victim mentality. That is how it affects people. The purpose of me making this video was to raise awareness about victim mentality and explain how, because it is so common, right? So I wanted to explain, a little bit about why it's so bad and why it's actually not the best strategy to have in terms of operating in a world that is so competitive. So that's me explaining the problem with it. If you're really interested in, ways to overcome that victim mentality and kind of shift yourself more to a winner's mindset, I guess, so to speak, let me know. I'm happy to make that video. I'm happy to talk about that. But one thing I do want to mention before we wrap up is a lot of people I know will watch this video and think to themselves, oh yeah, it's so annoying when people, are acting like victims, but oftentimes we're very good at reflecting and being critical of other people and not so critical about ourselves. So what I want to challenge you to do is, if you have the time, amazing. If you don't, I understand, but I would really recommend you do this. Take the time for 2 minutes. That's all you need. 2 minutes. 5 minutes, beautiful. 2 minutes, that's all you need. Try and reflect on a time that you were a victim or you had that victim mentality and you could have done better to take more ownership, take more accountability, etc. I just want you to think about that, because that'll go a long way in helping you be a better person, be better at self-improving, but also have a more positive impact on the world. Because yeah, like I said, a lot of people will watch this video and think about, oh yeah, old mate, he could definitely do with watching this video, but we often never think about ourselves. So when you're watching this, keep yourself in mind. I really want you to do that. But other than that, if you're interested in learning about how to be more disciplined when on self-improvement, I'll get you to watch this video that's up here. I kind of break down 7 steps plus an 8th extra step to talk about how to be more disciplined, because that is one of the cornerstones of self-improvement. But yeah, other than that, I hope this helped. I hope you really do take the time to reflect. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.